Hey guys, welcome back again with another tutorial. This tutorial today is just a continuation of our previous video whereby we were talking about static net. So today we are going to talk about dynamic net. We are going to talk about dynamic net. So like I did mention before, that dynamic net uses a predefined IP pool and provide IP mapping according to this IP pool if there is a need. So this one is many-to-many mapping. So now this is the topology that we are going to use to demonstrate dynamic net. So now let's begin by giving our IP address configurations, basic configuration of IP address. So it's sysview, sysname, the name of my device. Let me say dynamic net, that's the name of my device. So now let's begin with interface. Gig Ethernet 0/0/0 IP address 192.168.10.124. So that's cool. Let's come to the next interface. Gig Ethernet 0/0/1 IP address 200.200.200.124. It's okay. So now basically what we have done is just giving the basic IP configuration. So now, like we did mention that the dynamic net work on the basics of the IP pool. So now let's create let's configure the IP pool globally. So it's a word net. Can just make question mark to see what's the next line. So we can see that is a address group which is specified IP address of net. So now it's address group, let's say 1. Then you have to specify that range 200.200.200.5, 200.200.200.10. Basically we have just configured the address pool. So now let's come to the time. Now let's get time to create the access list ACL. So now let's say ACL access list 2000. Then let's specify the rules. So it's a rule followed by rule ID 5 permit. Can just make question mark to check what the next line. Permit, you can just see permit source, permit time range, permit view. So now we are going to have to specify the source, then the network ID, followed by the wildcard mask, 255. So now that's cool. So now we have just specified the access list. So now it's time for us to configure a notepad where the notepad rule on the gig Ethernet 0/1 to translate source address of our outgoing packets. So let's now try to configure the source interface gig Ethernet 0/0/1. That's fine. So it's net, and the outbound interface, the outbound followed by the rule. You can just make a question mark to check. So it's address group 1 no pet. So now it's fine. Basically we have just done configuring our static net. You can just run the verification command to see, like display net address group, you can see that this is our address group. This is our address group here. So we can just try to check the net outbound. So we can just say display net outbound display net outbound. So now you can see that this interface is our outbound. So now guys, that's very basic way of configuring dynamic net. You can just also use the Wireshark for you to try to check the traffic or to check the mapping. So now you can just capture the traffic here, capture the traffic here. So now let's generate. This is a Wireshark. So this is a Wireshark. So now let's generate traffic on our PC. CMD ping 200.200.200.20. So now you can, okay, and fine, that's fine. Just the matter of generating a traffic so that we can be able to analyze the packets. So let's come to the PC2 ping 200.200.200.20, which is the public IP address. So now you can see, okay, it's fine, it's fine. So let's come to our last PC just to generate the traffic so that we can be able to analyze at the end. Okay, now it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Now let's come to our Wireshark and see what we can gather from here. So basically from our Wireshark you can see that our PC one has been assigned a 200.200.6 and the IP address, and then you can just say this one is also been assigned .7. This is our public IP address, and this one is also been assigned 8. So basically that's how we mean that if we say that a dynamic IP address is many to many IP address. So we can see that our private IP addresses has been assigned to this public addresses. You can see that we have .6, we have .7, and also we have .8. So guys, that's simple how the configuration of dynamic net goes. Hope you like the video guys. Have peace.